Can I ask you a question? Am I being detained?
No, you're not being detained, no.
See you later then.
But you're not. You can't go through there.
I just asked the gentleman if I could go through and he said yeah.
Make it quite
Are you
clear.
following me?
I'm not following
You're
you.
harassing me.
I'm not harassing
I'm trying to
you.
walk away. Okay, I'm going to go this way instead then.
No, if you...
No, I'm going to go to the bus stop. Okay? Leave me alone.
Threat?
You did. You made an illegal threat of arrest.
I've not made
yes,
an
you
illegal
have.
threat.
You don't know your oath. You're not acting in the law.
Okay.
And you're not doing your duty as a police constable right
fine.
now.
Please don't film
Disgraceful.
in private property. Please
Disgraceful.
don't trespass on private
Disgraceful, Avon and Somerset
Okay.
Constabulary. An
Thanks very
absolute
much.
joke. You
Thanks
should be
very much.
ashamed.
Welcome back to the channel. Here, we break down real encounters between the public and the police, focusing on what the law actually says and whether officers act within their powers. Today's clip is from Audit Ed, so check out his channel in the description and show some support. In this video, Ed is filming outside a university in a public area, doing nothing more than holding a camera. Yet officers quickly approach him as if he's done something wrong. They don't clearly explain the reason for the stop, and instead rely on vague concerns. Ed stays calm and keeps asking simple, direct questions. What offense do they suspect? And what legal power are they using? As the conversation continues, it becomes harder for the officers to properly justify why they challenged him in the first place. Let's get into it.
Alright, are you guys here for me?
Yeah, hi.
Oh, why? Can you maintain your distance there?
Can. Of course, yeah.
And also identify yourselves. Did you just switch your camera on?
Yeah.
Alright, please don't delete that. I'll be requesting a copy, alright? Also yours, please don't delete that. I'll be requesting a copy.
Of course.
Alright, can you identify yourselves, please,
Can I
officers?
ask you first, sorry, what was your first name, my friend?
I'm not at liberty to give you that. When you approach a member of the public, you identify yourself. That's your policy, so identify yourself.
Okay. So my name is Simon Tops, Police Constable 693, Simon Tops, Avon and Somerset Police.
And yours is?
My colleague.
5512, Josh Burnell.
Alright, and what crime have I committed, or do you suspect me of committing?
Okay, what are you being so hostile?
I'm not being hostile, I'm just asking you, because when the police approach me,
Yeah.
police come to deal with crimes, do they not?
Not necessarily, no.
What do they come to deal with? Civil matters?
Well, we're here to prevent crime.
So what crime do you suspect me of about to commit?
Not suggesting you're committing a crime at all. So.
Alright then.
What was your first name, so I can talk to you on first name basis?
No, it's fine, I'm not going to give you that.
Okay. Are you filming at the moment?
I am indeed, for my own
Okay, what's the
protection.
purpose of you filming?
My own purpose.
Right. Okay.
They approach him without properly identifying themselves and without clearly stating why they've stopped him. And it's Ed who ends up asking who they are, which already says something about how casually they're handling the situation. Instead of answering his straightforward question, "What offense do you believe I've committed?" they pivot and start describing him as hostile. That label gets thrown around far too easily whenever someone calmly asks officers to justify their actions. Asking for their legal grounds isn't aggression. It's simply expecting them to meet the basic requirement they must satisfy before interfering with a member of the public. If they genuinely suspected a specific crime, they should be able to clearly say what it is, without dodging or hesitation.
So what, can I ask why you're here at the...
Can I ask you a question? Am I being detained?
No, you're not being detained, no.
See you later then.
But you're not, you can't go through there.
I just asked the gentleman if I could go through and he said yeah.
Chris?
Did you not just tell me the way to the bus station?
You did ask me where the buses are.
And did you not point me through there, left at the machine and all the way down?
I did say that.
Yeah.
Okay, can
Okay.
I just...
No, you can't actually.
Okay, well, whilst you're walking, I'll just make it quite
Are you
clear
following
for
me?
I'm not following
You're
you.
harassing me.
I'm not harassing
I'm trying
you,
to
I'm
walk
talking
away.
to
Okay,
you.
I'm going to go this way instead then.
No, if you...
So if you no, I'm going to go to the bus stop.
Okay.
Okay. Leave me alone. All right.
Okay, that's fine. If you make your way to the bus stop, that'd be great.
I'm not going. You're not going to follow me.
What?
Which way are you going?
Sorry?
Which way are you going?
Look, if you don't want me to follow...
I'm just asking you which way you're going.
I'm not here to call...
I'm just asking you which way you're going.
It doesn't matter which way I go, I can go whichever way I like. I'm not
All
being
right, I'll wait for you to go then.
I'm not being dictated to by you.
Do you know your
where
oath?
I go. All right?
Do you know your oath?
Yeah, I do.
Can you say it to me?
No,
I'll start you
I'm
off.
not going to say it to you.
I'll start you off.
I'm not here to justify my actions.
No,
to
you're
you.
here to uphold the law.
I am
Have I
upholding
broken it?
Not at the moment, you haven't.
So leave me alone. This
Okay.
isn't consensual.
That's fine.
Policing by consent. Leave me alone.
Okay, off you go then.
They're quick to say he's not detained. So Ed does exactly what someone who's free to leave is allowed to do. He walks away. That's when the tone shifts. Suddenly they're asking where he's going and trailing after him, as if his right to leave only counts in theory. It doesn't work that way. Either you're stopping someone under a lawful power, or you're not. You can't have it both ways. Then the exchange turns more pointed. Ed asks the officer to repeat the oath he took, not for show, but to remind him of the duty that comes with the badge. The officer refuses and says he doesn't have to justify himself, and that response speaks volumes. Policing isn't a private club where accountability is optional, and the public is expected to just accept silence.
No, I will
Have a
go.
nice day.
I will go when I'm ready.
Okay, that's
Okay, cool.
Have a nice day.
I will. I'm actually having a lovely day.
Okay. If you could make your way to the bus station, though,
Why?
that would be great.
Why?
Okay, that's fine. I'm not here.
So why do you keep telling me what to do?
I'm not telling you what to
You
do.
are. You just said make your way to the bus station.
You
Like,
said you
what
were
right?
making your way-
Can I just ask you, what right do you have to tell me what to do when I haven't broken the law?
Okay.
You haven't got a right to tell me what to do when I haven't broken the law. So stop trying to bully me.
I'm not trying to.
Yes,
bully
you are. You're trying to
find
tell
out-
me what to do.
I'm trying to find out why you're walking around a university
Because
with
I'm.
a camera.
I'll tell you why. Because I'm allowed to.
Okay.
Photography
But
is not a
some
crime.
of this university is private premises.
No, it's not,
It
bro.
is,
Do you know?
okay,
Are you
that's where you're wrong.
are you familiar with Section 33 of the Criminal Justice Act 1972?
No, I'm not. No,
you're
not
not. But you
particularly.
should be.
Okay.
Because it's the law.
Okay.
Which says at the material time of operating, the public are allowed access whether upon payment or not.
To where?
Anywhere that is open. This is a public space. These lines were painted by the council.
Well, I think you're mistaken.
No,
This is part of this
I'm not.
university.
The tone shifts into that quiet intimidation style. Short, clipped instructions delivered as if the uniform alone makes them automatically lawful. When that doesn't land, they move to saying it's private property, like stating it confidently somehow answers the legal question. Ed doesn't rise to it. He stays calm and keeps the conversation structured. He asks whether the officer is familiar with Section 33 of the Criminal Justice Act 1972, which covers access to places the public are ordinarily allowed to go. The officer admits he doesn't know it. That's important. If you're trying to enforce a boundary but can't clearly explain the law behind it, you're leaning on assumption, not solid grounds. Ed then points out the council road markings, the same kind you see on public roads, which wouldn't usually be present if the area was genuinely restricted.
It's private property.
Can I just ask you
There
another
is
something?
public access
If I
to
was to
parts
say
of
to
the
you,
university.
if I was to say to you, I'm not going anywhere, what could you do?
Sorry?
If I was to say to you, I'm not going to leave now, what could you do?
Well, I don't intend to do anything.
You
at the
couldn't.
moment.
You couldn't do anything because I haven't broken the law. When those guys rang you and reported a crime, what you should have said to them is, "It's not breaking
They
the
have
law."
reported a crime.
What did they do?
reported a suspicious person filming at a
suspicion-
university campus.
Is photography a crime? You're recording. You're
Well,
recording.
I don't know.
You guys. Let
How
me
do
just
I
say,
know that you're not filming for terrorist
do you know?
purposes?
You see that on your uniform?
Yep.
That thin blue line thing.
How
That is
do
an utter
How
disgrace.
do I know?
You disgrace the country with that.
How do I know that you're not filming for terrorist purposes?
Sir, we
for
go.
example?
Sir, we go on what we do know, what we don't, not what we don't.
Well, not necessarily.
No,
That's again
so-
where you're wrong. Isn't
Okay,
It?
so what reasonable suspicion do you have that I'm a terrorist,
Well,
sir?
you're filming a university campus.
So you're
with a
trying to get me
camera.
on Section 43.
No, I'm not.
So why did you mention it then?
Well, because I'm just explaining that you seem to think that I can only act when a crime's been reported.
No,
but
no, no. You're more than willing to come up to me and ask me.
Yeah.
If you can articulate reasonable suspicion that I may be a terrorist,
Well, you're walking around a university campus with a camera. And
this is a uni.
And you won't explain why.
but I don't have to.
Well, then it gives me suspicion of what your activity is.
So you think I'm a terrorist?
The officer insists the area belongs to the university and calls it private property. Ed calmly asks about public access and then puts a simple question to him. If he decided to stay put and refuse to leave, what exactly could the officer do about it? The response is vague. Ed points out the obvious. If no law has been broken, there's no power to remove him. He then circles back to the original call. Someone reported a suspicious person filming. Not a crime, just suspicion. He asks plainly, since when is photography illegal? The officers themselves are recording, and they know full well he's not there for anything criminal. The conversation shifts toward terrorism powers, with the officer hinting at them without committing. Ed challenges that directly. Are they trying to rely on Section 43? If not, why bring it up? He explains that officers can approach and ask questions, but if they're going to detain or search someone under terrorism legislation, they need clear, reasonable suspicion. Simply holding a camera on a university campus and choosing not to explain yourself doesn't meet that threshold. And crucially, he reminds them He's under no obligation to justify lawful activity just to make them comfortable.
So you think I'm a terrorist? You have reasonable suspicion that I am up to terrorist activities.
I don't know why you're...
I'm not engaged in any
why are you
hostile
filming?
reconnaissance because I can, as my rights allow me to. Is this not a free country?
Yeah, but...
So, and am I not allowed to own a camera?
You are allowed to
You're
own a camera.
filming. What's the difference between
You're
you and
allowed
I?
to own a camera and you're allowed to film.
And what's
And
the difference between you
and
and...
I'm not preventing you from doing that.
But why
I'm
are you
not
accusing me of
asking
being
you
a
to turn the camera
terrorist
off.
then?
I'm not accusing you of being
Well, why
a
are you saying I'm
terrorist.
suspicious?
I'm just saying there are some concerns about your...
What concerns?
...nature of why you're filming
What
an empty
concerns?
university.
What concerns?
Well, why are you filming an empty university?
Do I have to tell you?
Well, it would help, wouldn't it?
Do I have to?
You don't have to.
Then I'm not going to.
But then it gives me suspicion for why you're here with a camera.
Suspicion is not a crime.
No, but it gives me grounds to do certain things if I feel it necessary.
Are you threatening me?
I'm not threatening you.
So
I'm
what do you mean
explaining
then?
what the law is.
Well, you don't know the law because that's not
Well,
right.
I think I do.
Well, tell me what reasonable suspicion you have.
Well, why are you filming a university when it's
I'm not telling
closed
you.
with a camera?
I'm not telling you.
Okay, well then I'm suspicious.
That's fine. You can be suspicious.
I can, yeah.
Yeah, you can.
But then I can also act on that suspicion
No, you
if I
can't.
feel it appropriate.
You can. Yeah, you can, and I'll sue you.
Okay, well, but that's my decision.
Yeah, I know. When you'll lose your job.
Well, I'm not doing that, am I?
No, because you're scared
But
to.
you're not helping our cause.
I don't
here,
have
are
to
you?
help you. I don't have to help you, do I?
You don't have to.
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, okay. I think we understand where we are.
I know where I understand where I am. I know the
understand
law.
where I
You
am.
don't. You those gentlemen over there, the guys who called the police.
Just because security phones it in and labels someone as suspicious doesn't suddenly turn perfectly lawful filming into a criminal act. All it really shows is that someone didn't like seeing a camera pointed in their direction. When Ed asks the straightforward question, is filming by itself against the law? There's no clear answer because there isn't one. Instead, they move to, how do we know you're not gathering footage for terrorism? That's not reasonable suspicion based on facts. That's jumping straight to a worst-case scenario with nothing concrete to support it. Ed brings it back to basics. Police powers are supposed to rely on evidence and specific information, not on imagined possibilities. If the only thing they can identify is a man holding a camera in an area the public can access, then they haven't described a crime. What they've really described is their own unease about being recorded.
Whoever called the police, I suggest you go and speak to them about Section 5 of the Criminal Law Act 1967, making a false report, because that's wasting police time, which is actually a criminal offence.
Okay. It's been nice talking to you. If you're heading towards the bus stop, then
I'll go wherever I like.
Have a lovely day.
I'll go wherever
Well, you
I
won't
like.
go wherever you like.
I will indeed.
Because parts of this.
I'll go anywhere that
university-
is publicly accessible. I will go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and no one will stop me.
Yeah.
Not those guys up there. Not you guys
But what
either.
you need to understand at the moment.
I don't need to understand
just say
anything.
that
I know
we're
the
clear,
law.
Is so do I.
Yeah, no, you don't.
So do I. Okay.
You don't. You don't even
This
know
is a-
what Criminal
this-
Justice Section 33 of the Criminal Justice Act
This is-
1972 is.
this-
Do you know it?
This is a
You need to know
private.
the ins and outs.
Of course you know. Of course, if you're gonna uphold the law, you have to know the ins and outs of the law. How can you tell me that you don't have to know the ins and outs
Okay.
of the law, but then you're here to uphold it? How does
Okay.
that make sense?
So,
You're even a Somerset constabulary, innit?
Okay.
Absolute joke.
it's
Ed finds himself going over the same ground again and again because they act as if it's never been addressed. Recording in an area the public can freely access doesn't suddenly become unlawful just because someone doesn't like it. He points out the clear contradiction right in front of them. They're filming him while suggesting that his camera alone makes him suspicious. That double standard is important. It shows the real issue isn't the act of recording at all, but the fact that a member of the public is doing it. Then an officer says his suspicions allow him to take certain actions. That's where alarm bells should ring. Suspicion on its own isn't unlimited authority. It must be reasonable, clearly defined, and connected to a specific offense. Otherwise, it's just a feeling, not lawful grounds.
it's been a pleasure talking to you.
I haven't enjoyed myself, actually. You've ruined my day. So go away now, please.
Parts of the university are private premises. There are public access routes.
I won't
for-
go anywhere that is
Okay.
private. I haven't been anywhere that's private, and I will not go anywhere that's private. As you could probably understand from the way I speak, I know exactly what I'm doing, sir. I know the laws that
Yeah.
surround what I'm doing. I don't appreciate you accusing me of being a terrorist.
Well,
What's your number
I've not
again?
accused you of being a terrorist. I've explained.
693. You threatened
No,
me.
I
You
haven't.
said, "Oh, now I've got reason." It's all.
I've not threatened
mate,
you
listen,
at all.
The camera doesn't lie.
I've not threatened you.
The
at
camera
all.
doesn't
You
lie.
can play your camera back.
I will.
alright?
I'll be
I've
playing.
not
I'll be playing
threatened
to your
you at all.
superior.
I'm just explaining that if you're filming an empty university that's actually closed at the moment to the university's actually closed. All right, to the students. It's
I'm not a
closed-
student.
It's closed to staff.
I'm not staff.
So why are you here?
I'm a member of the public, and I'm in a publicly accessible area.
Right.
That's why I'm
Okay.
here.
Well, that's fine. If you want to film
I know it's fine.
in open public spaces,
Yeah, and I'm allowed.
that's fine. But
Yeah.
you won't be filming inside buildings.
I don't want to film inside a
okay?
building.
And if you trespass in private property,
It's a civil matter. Are you telling me that you're going to do something for a civil matter?
I will do. 'Cause
Okay. Oh, so okay, cool. That's fine. That's
if the
another
security
complaint.
asks you to leave a private
They
premises and you
but I
refuse-
haven't been on private property.
Ed doesn't just focus on defending his own position. He flips the lens back onto the situation itself. He points out that if anyone might be close to wrongdoing, it could be the person who made an overblown report in the first place. Wasting police time by knowingly giving false information is covered under Section 5 of the Criminal Law Act 1967. Yet that angle doesn't seem to interest them at all. That contrast says a lot. They're eager to question the man with the camera, but not the individual who triggered the call. Then an officer says he can't just go wherever he wants, which would only hold weight if they could clearly explain a lawful boundary. Ed maintains that he's standing in an area open to the public, rather than properly addressing that point. One officer casually remarks that you don't need to understand every detail of the law. That's not a small comment. It suggests powers are being used without a clear grasp of the limits that are supposed to keep those powers in check.
and you refuse
I haven't
to,
been on private property.
then I'll have
Sir,
to consider
listen.
my powers under the breach of the peace.
Oh, so now you're threatening me for a crime that listen, what part of my behaviour is threatening or abusive?
Well, nothing at the moment.
Okay, so don't threaten me with something that
I'm not
hasn't
threatening
happened
you.
or that isn't going to
I
happen.
also
You
know
are.
the
That's
law,
no. Listen, you're
okay?
just threatening me with breach of the peace when a breach of the peace isn't going to happen
Well,
because
one
I'm
of
not
my
acting in.
fundamental roles is to prevent a breach of the peace.
Yeah, but there's going to be no breach of the peace because I'm not acting in a
That's
threatening
right.
or abusive
So
behaviour.
All I'm saying is don't go into private premises,
Listen,
don't film in the
how many
buildings.
times do you want to say that?
Okay, otherwise...
How many times do you want to say that, considering the fact that I said...
And then I'll have to support them to prevent a breach of the peace, is all I'm saying.
That's fine. You
And
could
that's
do.
me knowing my law.
That's fine. You could do that, but
Yeah,
I promise
can,
you that if the course of action that you've just stated happens, I'll sue you,
Well, that's fine. You're entitled to sue
and I'm
me.
going to make a complaint. 3 complaints in this 8 minutes 46 seconds, and 3 complaints about you. You're smart for keeping your mouth shut.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
You can complain.
See
if
you
like.
later then, guys. Go.
Okay.
Be gone.
Thanks very much for speaking.
Go
to
away
us.
now.
Okay. Thank you. There's no need to be rude.
I'm not being rude.
Okay.
Plus, is rudeness a crime? Is it a free country? If I would like to be rude, I'm well within my rights to be rude.
Okay.
Okay? So go away, please, and leave me alone. You're harassing me.
Okay, that's fine. Thanks
All
very
right?
much.
Go away now. Jeez, man. And now you just made it worse for them because you told me I can't record in there, so now I'm going to have to walk round. You inform these guys that photography is not a crime as well, yeah? You educate these guys on the law. No. You're here. You're a public servant. You're here to uphold the law.
Yeah.
These guys have broken the law by filing a false report.
They haven't,
Okay.
no.
Yes, they have.
Okay.
Yes, they have. They reported a crime when there wasn't a crime being committed. They made a false report. It is a breach of Section 5 of the Criminal Law Act 1967, and you are failing in your job right now,
Okay.
officer,
Well,
constable.
Thanks very much. It's been very nice talking to you. If you can maintain yourself on the public places,
I'll go wherever
okay,
I like. Thank you.
You know what my position is.
I'll
in
go
relation
wherever.
to
Yeah, you made threats. You made a threat of
I've not made a
arrest. You
threat.
did. You made an illegal threat of arrest.
I've not made
Yes,
an
you
illegal
have.
threat.
You
I've
don't
said-
know your oath. You're not acting in the law,
Okay.
and you're not doing your duty as a police constable
That's
right
fine.
now.
Please don't.
You're a
film in-
disgrace, and
please-
you.
Please don't film
Disgraceful.
in private property. Please
Disgraceful.
Don't trespass on private
Disgraceful, Avon and Somerset
Okay.
Constabulary.
Thanks very
Absolute joke. You
Thanks
should be
very much.
ashamed. You should.
Bye-bye.
You should be ashamed of yourself. Photography is not a crime. Bullies.
What stands out in the final moments isn't confrontation, it's avoidance. After all the suspicion, the repeated probing, the quiet warnings, and the references to different legal powers, the officers gradually turn their attention away from Ed and back towards security. Yet there's no clear attempt to properly examine the original complaint. The person who made the call isn't questioned on camera. There's no effort to pin down what was actually reported, and no acknowledgement that the situation may have been exaggerated. That silence is telling. If the grounds had been solid from the start, there'd be no need to ease away from them. You can see the shift in control too. In the beginning, the officers drive the interaction they lead. They suggest wrongdoing. They apply pressure. By the end, that momentum is gone. Ed hasn't been detained, searched, or given any lawful order based on a clearly stated power. No offense has been identified, and no firm boundary has been defined. What's left isn't a public safety issue, it's visible frustration from an encounter that never properly justified itself. So when Ed walks off, it's not a loss. It's simply someone stepping away from a conversation that's going nowhere. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit like, share the video, and subscribe. It supports the channel and keeps accountability exactly where it should be, out in the open.